All right. We're here to talk about an RSI trade that Ike has been using, I guess, since the beginning of March, and it's worked out pretty well. And just wanted to share it with you guys. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ike.
Okay, good morning. This is Ike. So what we're going to talk about today is a mechanical trade called an RSI trade, and it's a trade that we programmed and we've been using for about a month now. And Al will show you some of the trade results later on. So that being said, what we're looking for here is the typical pullback trades. We're focusing on stocks and long uptrends, but experiencing short-term corrections. And what you need on your charts to see this is just simply a 200-day uh, SMA, a 5-day SMA, and a 2-period SNI. Now pay attention to 2-period RSI, not the standard 14-day look back. So we're going to take an example here. This is Procter Gamble. You can see this nice left to right uh, pattern right here. And you can see the 200-day SMA and the 5-day simple SMA right here. So the next slide shows during the course of this period right here, how many times this trade triggered. It dropped below the 5 SMA. The 200-day SMA is above the 200 SMA. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This runs back since 2018. So normally on the default RSIs on your programs are usually defaulted to 14-day look back and a 70-30 oversold, overbought right here. So what we've done in this is we've changed it to look back to two period RSI and moved this down to 10 instead of the 30. And here's the 10, 20, 200-day moving average and the 5-day moving average. So that's what you have on your chart. And every time the price drops below the 5-day and the RSI drops below the 10-day, that's a sale setup. So you can see them happen right here, right here, right here, and so forth. So I guess this got cut off a little bit. Apologize for that. So the rules are when the stock is above the 200 SMA and below the 5-day SMA with a 2-period RSI below 10, that's a buy. The exit criteria is very simple. You exit when price closes above the 5 SMA. And you can't see this here, but this setup occurs near the current day's close. And this is also during the current day's close. So you do this as late in the day as possible, and you get out as late as possible at the end of the day. So I'll give you an example right here of a trade we had. This was, we got into this trade yesterday. And if you look at the KSU chart, KSU's got a pretty nice left to right pattern. Um, Here's the 5 SMA. It closed below that. It's above the 200-day SMA. And down here, the RSI2 was below 10. So we got into the trade yesterday. And you can see what happened today. Now, I'm certainly going to say this doesn't happen every day, but it does happen. And today we're going to have a nice profit on that trade. Profit on that trade. So here's a losing trade. We got on this trade on April 16th, I believe, right around in here. It closed below here, and we got out right here. That was a winner. I'm sorry. Here, another one we got into was over here. We got in here, and we got out here. And that was the losing side. So was mistaken. We got in here and got out here. The first SMA, first day price closed over the 5 SMA. So that's a loser. So I wanted to show you. Let me take this down, everybody. I want to pull up VectorVest here. This is this mechanical scan that we developed to find these trades. And this is an actual live scan right now. If I ran it again right now, this is what would come up. And you can see the parameters up here. the price is about $5. The 50-day moving average is above 500,000. Now, here's the deal. Price is below the 5-day moving average. It's above the 200-day moving average, and the RSI has crossed below 10 in the past 1 day. And we're looking for stocks in the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100. So they are good stocks. And that's another point. This kind of takes care of the criteria of the left to right sloping stock graph. So if we graph these, you can see right here, this graph shows the what happens on the setup. So here's price below the 5-day moving average. It's above the 200-day moving average, and RSI is below 10, which you can't see on here, but it is. So that's the setup, and we can go down and quickly look at these graphs. There's LB, all the same. John Deere, United Rentals, just going down the line here. These are all setups that we found today. On days like today, when we have a big pullback, there's a lot of setups. So when we get these, what we try to do is we rank these from the I'll rank sort them before we show you this. And now the best are at the top. And what we try to do is enter a stock. We don't want to enter we want to enter the stocks that are in an industry group, but not more than one stock in the industry group. So we look at these, and what we'll do is we'll post these stocks around 3:45, and Al will give you some guidance then, and then we'll start tracking it. And I think what we have left is Al's going to show you the results of the trade, right, Al?
Okay. Alrighty. So, as Steve, as Ike mentioned, we Ike actually started this, and it's probably small here. Let me bring it up a little bit. Wrong way. Okay. On just the first part of March there, and you can see here all the trades that we're in, and these are just buy sells, and this is how we record them. And then let me share the summary with you. So I grouped this by largest gain down. So these are the trades. You see the zero here. These are actually closed trades already. And you can see here that the overall gain so far, and that's including the unrealized gains since March, is over 5%, which is pretty darn good in a month and a half. And so it's the ultimate, to me, it's the ultimate swing trade. Okay. Because you're trading on really good, solid stocks, and you're basically buying the dip each time on a very strong trend up. Okay, and these are quality companies, and and so what I've done is used less than 1% of my portfolio for each stock, because you could actually buy 5 or 6 stocks, or on a day like today, probably even more, and put them in your portfolio and just wait until the trigger hits, right? That we go above the 5 SMA to sell it. And so even with the losses, we're still above the 5% return. And so what we're going to do is Ike mentioned, we're going to be looking for these. Ike is going to do the scan around. He does it around 2:30, 3 o'clock, and then by 3:45 he does the last scan, and that's when we buy the stocks. Okay, and we also sell them too at that time. All right, so that's basically the rule. And so what I do is I'll take the scan that Ike shares around 3 o'clock, and I'll plug those in right into my saved orders, basically, because I'll decide how many shares, which stocks I'm going to do, and I have a chart, and I can share that with you. So this particular performance data is already in the stock side, the STS active investor side, and you guys all have access to it, that you can look at it. And let me share the chart screen that I use for it. So hold on one second. Let me move this over. Okay, that's my 0 DTE charts. So let me get the right charts here. Okay, so this is what I use for, and remember, in order to really see this, you have to make sure that the perspective is daily, right? You set it for daily, and these are the stocks basically that I either have or have traded already on it, and you can see J&J move way up. We already had sold this before, but here's Kansas City. This is the one that rocketed up this morning, but so these are the other stocks here that I'm holding, and I think Ike is holding too. We're just waiting for it to pop up, and once we get the signal, we sell them, and then at the same time, I'll populate the stocks that I shares in a scan in here, and then make a decision based on industry groups, etc., on which stocks I'm gonna buy during that time. And again, I limit the amount of stock to less than 1% of my portfolio. It may grow, I may do more, but right now, I want to do this for 2 or 3 months to make sure that we go through downturns and upturns, and everything looks good for that time, and then I'll probably add additional shares to the portfolio when we do this. So that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple strategy, and again, we're gonna focus doing this on Tuesdays and Thursdays because it's the lighter days, and then we may do it on off days as well. But we'll let you guys know when we're gonna do it. At least twice a week, we're gonna put these on. So, are there any questions? Let me see. No, we're not doing options. These are actual stock that we're buying here. Okay, this and the trades are going to be. Let me share my. Okay, so the trades are in the active investor stock group. That's where we're going to be sharing the trades. Okay, here's a chat group for the stock picks chat. And we're using active investor and one portfolio in here. It's called the RSI Trade. It could be it's a multi-day trade, Mike. But we are holding small amounts compared to our portfolio. So basically, I'm using $500 per trade on these. It could be compatible with buying calls or puts. It could be. Yep. But just remember, you have to be concerned about, implied volatility, expiration, all that stuff. So for me, if I were to do it with options, I'd do it probably in the money options, and at least 3 months out to make sure that we don't get any decay on it. We have talked about running it every day. We've been running it every day, but it's a lot to do, especially on days that are, we're trading futures and 0 DTE and putting on 7 DTE. So right now we just want to give you a commitment that we're going to do it every Tuesday and Thursday. So stand by today. We're gonna have that list, and then if we see that that we can do it more, we'll do it more. Okay. Any other questions? All right, great. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Hope you like it.